Forspoken recently released and the game has had a pretty rough launch. Story, graphics or even price, there is a lot to complain about. But there is one thing that I personally hate a lot about this game, and that's the performance. Oh, and the price too. At first, the minimum specs seemed pretty high, especially for 720p 30fps, but after trying the game, it was even more than I thought. I first installed the game on my hard drive since I lacked some space on my SSD, but the game kept freezing on the main menu and crashing with the error, "File was broken, please reinstall." After making some space and moving the game on my SSD, the game kept crashing with the same error a few minutes into the game. As it turns out, the game actually did get some files corrupted while it was on my hard drive. After getting the error fixed, I'm finally in game, and despite my 8 GB of RAM, the game runs decently without stuttering. But the frame rate was very low. I will be running the game on an i5 12400F, vega 56, and as previously mentioned, 8 GB of RAM. At 1080p with the standard preset, the game runs at about 40 FPS on average, which is a little low, but not necessarily unexpected due to my GPU's age. Lowering the settings individually led to some negligible gains. Disabling the fog gave me 3 FPS, the clouds about 6 FPS, model quality about 4 FPS, and the anisotropic filtering pretty much nothing. All of that combined didn't do too much as the game settled between 40 and 60 FPS. But it sure did make the game really ugly. Quickly comparing low to ultra, texture resolution on objects is greatly reduced. Shadows are obviously low resolution and they lose a lot of detail, especially farther away from the camera. Low LODs are loaded from quite close, especially making the trees look very low resolution. There is quite a bit less grass and it isn't rendered as far away, and the fog is entirely gone. So, if making it look like a Nintendo 64 game didn't fix the frame rate, why not try an actual Nintendo 64 resolution? At 800 by 600, the menus are unreadable and the game is an undistinguishable mess of pixels. But the frame rate is higher, right? Well, it does hover around 70 FPS, but once you start moving, it does drop all the way down to 50 FPS, especially in battle. And that makes me think that the game is very unoptimized if not entirely broken at this point.